So we've got to talk about one of the things that caused President Trump to win this election by a landslide, and is overwhelmingly popular still within the United States. The fact that Americans do not want boys playing in girls' sports. They don't want it. It doesn't make sense. Women's sports were created for a reason, to have the ability for girls and women to compete at a high level against their fair and equal competitors. Okay? And if it wasn't necessary, girls would have just been playing in boys' sports and been competing at a high level forever. But clearly, it was a necessary thing to happen. And it was women, feminists in particular, who promoted women's sports so that girls could have a chance to, again, compete, receive scholarships, set records, win games, do things to benefit them both physically and mentally for their physical and mental health, allowing them to compete against other girls. Okay? And now somehow feminism has been twisted and warped to be allowing men who believe that they're women, which is a mental illness that needs to be addressed separately, but that's going to allow them to play in women's sports. Feminism has been twisted, warped, and was never intended to protect men. That's why it's called feminism. Again, these things just make sense. So today, Donald Trump called out Maine governor for still allowing women or men to play in women's sports. And he told them that it must stop. And he said this right to her face. The guy is an absolute boss when it comes to negotiation and being able to say the truth to somebody's face, regardless of how much he thinks it might hurt.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with the state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
So he lays it out just pretty straight and flat, right? You're not going to comply with federal law. You're not going to get federal funding. And this is how these sanctuary states and cities need to be handled. These LGBTQ sanctuary cities, per se, and states. If you're not going to follow federal law, we are going to use our funding, the ability to enforce the law, to make sure that you comply. Okay? That's how it's got to be done. And make them take you to court. The Biden administration for the last 4 years has been arbitrarily using executive power for whatever reason they felt fit, whether it's giving people money for college, signing checks to people, closing down schools and businesses, whatever they wanted, they had it, carte blanche. And now that Donald Trump's in power, they're complaining that he's using powers, in extreme ways. Well, guess what? You guys created the power. You guys used these excessively, created the precedent that he is now using against you. And now you don't like it. Well, guess what? We warned you. You didn't listen to the warning. And now you're going to play these games. It's unacceptable. And now it's been found that there's been other parts of the government using encrypted servers, to have conversations about different radical gender ideologies. Here's some of those images of the text. They're talking about some crazy sexual stuff. It's kind of creepy. You can read it yourself. I don't want to censor this whole thing, but they're talking about, their body parts and what they do when they go to the gym and they're harassed, talking about, their intimate partners and what they've done. Specifically, this is all stuff that was like classified. It was done on encrypted messaging, and it's completely inappropriate. And these people are going to get found out and going to get fired. So good for Doge finding this stuff, because this gender ideology and sexual revolution crap has really got to get out of our government. We should not be paying for people to do this on government time.